serving the Republic of the Philippines for more than 75 years. Ito po ang Presidential Broadcast Service.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., along with Department of Agrarian Reform or DAR Secretary Conrado Estrella III on Monday, led the distribution of land titles and turnover of support services to agrarian reform beneficiaries or ARBs at the City of Pasig Arena in Iloilo Province. Around 2,100 ARBs from the provinces of Aklan, Antique, Capiz, Iloilo, and Guimaras, with an equivalent of more than 2,900 hectares, benefited from the distribution. Besides this, organic fertilizers, farm machineries, and tissue culture facilities were also given by DAR to different farmer organizations worth over 26.7 million pesos. In his speech, the President said that his administration is fast-tracking the land reform program so that it will be done before his term ends in 2028. Let's listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Kami ni Secretary Conrad ay talagang tuwa kami na magawa namin ito dahil hindi nyo na itatanong, baka maalala ninyo na ang Land Reform Program ay sinimulan ng aming mga ninuno, ang aking ama at ang kanyang lolo na siya rin naging Agrarian Reform Secretary for Agrarian Reform. At yun, at that time, yun ay bagong departamento. Wala namang Agrarian Reform Department bago ng panahon ng aking ama. Ang unang batas na ginawa ng aking ama ay ang Agrarian Reform. Dahil sa buong buhay niya, yun ang lagi niyang sinasabi na hindi tama na ang ating mga magsasaka na pinaghihirapan at nagtatrabaho na taon-taon na wala naman silang lupa. Kaya ang Agrarian Reform ay naging priority ng administrasyon ng Marcos at ngayon na may administrasyong Marcos ulit, naging priority ulit ang Agrarian Reform beneficiaries at ang pagbigay ng mga titulo at ng tulong at suporta. Alam niyo po, ang Agrarian Reform, hindi lamang po yan dahil hindi lamang pagbibigay ng titulo. Meron din kasama dyan sa Agrarian Reform Program yung tinatawag na support. So, hindi lamang yung pagbigay ng titulo, hindi lang pagbigay ng CLOA, kung hindi ang pagbigay ng, kagaya na nakikita natin sa labas, yung mga farm machineries, yung mga iba't ibang gamit upang pagandahin ang ani ng ating mga magsasaka. Kaya naman po, hindi siguro naming akalain na abutin ng ganito katagal. Ngunit, umabot na nga ng ganitong katagal, kaya naman kami ay minamadali namin at ginagawa namin ang lahat upang ang Land Reform Program ay matapos sa administrasyon ko at lahat ng may hawak na CLOA, lahat ng may hawak na dapat a beneficiary, na nakalista as beneficiary, ay mabigyan ng titulo at mabigyan ng suporta ng ating Agrarian Reform, ang Agrarian Reform Department at saka ang Department of Agriculture. Lahat na po ng iba't ibang departamento ay pinagsama-sama natin para tulungan ang ating Agrarian Reform beneficiaries. Kaya kami, tuwan-tuwa kami pagpunta namin dito na marami na kaming nagawa, marami na kaming nabigyan ng titulo at patuloy ang proseso sa pagbigay na para sa ating mga farmer, para pagbigay ng suporta sa ating mga farmer, hindi lamang dito sa Region 6, kung sa buong Pilipinas. Dahil nga naman, kailangan natin kilalanin na kailangan natin hindi natin makakalimutan na lahat naman kayo ay pinaghihirapan talaga ninyo ang maging pagsasaka, pag-aalaga sa inyong mga lupa para sa pagpakain ng buong Pilipinas. The distribution of more than 2,900 hectares of land to more than 2,000 beneficiaries here in Western Visayas today is in the pursuit of agrarian reform in our country. In the same manner, ito nga yung aking sinasabi, ang pag-deliver ng mga fertilizer, ng mga makinarya, mga facilities ay makakatulong upang makamtan natin ang ating hinahanap at ang ating pinapangarap na magandang kinabukasan para sa ating mga magsasaka, para sa ating mga sinasaka, at para sa mga susunod na henerasyon. With the distribution of these titles in Western Visayas in other areas, we are set to exceed our nationwide target for land distribution for the year 2023. So, para sa akin, ito na ang pinakamagandang Christmas gift para sa ating lahat. Para ituloy ang ating nagawa na dito sa agrarian reform, I ask the DAR to complete the distribution of lands to their deserving owners while collaborating with all the agencies of government to support our beneficiaries in anything that they might need. So to those who will be receiving their titles today, who have received their titles today, I urge you na pagbutihan ninyo at pagsamantalahan ninyo na mabuti itong magandang pagkakataon na naibigay namin sa inyo dahil nga sa pagbigay ng titulo. Habang kayo ay patuloy na nagsisikap, hindi rin kami titigil sa gobyerno na gagawa ng mga hakbang upang sa ikauunlad ninyo. Mga hakbang upang palakasin, pagyamanin, at pagtibayin ang inyong kabuhayan. Nang makayanan nating makatulong sa iba pang mga Pilipino at makipagsabayan sa ekonomiya ng ibang mga bansa. Sama-sama tayong kikilos para sa mas maginhawang bukas at mas matatag na bagong Pilipinas. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all come together to empower our farmers, bring equity to our people, raise the productivity of our lands. We will continue to pursue food security, economic prosperity for the present and succeeding generations. With all of us united in this goal, basta tayo'y nagkaisa. Ito yung ating sinisigaw sa kampanya. Hindi lang po yan, yung pagkakaisa na ating isinigaw sa kampanya ay hindi lamang yung campaign slogan. Yan po ay tapat na aming paniniwala. Upang maging maganda ang patakbo ng Pilipinas, kailangan sabay-sabay tayong mga Pilipinong nagtutulungan upang maramdaman naman ng kahit na lahat ng Pilipino, kahit saan man sila, pati yung nasa abroad, maramdaman nila ang pagpaganda ng ating kabuhayan. So let us continue to work. Let us continue to support our farmers. The farmers have done their part. It is now up to us in the government to do our part. Ginawa na nila. Sila ay nagsisikap ilang taon na, ilang dekada na yung iba. At wala na kaming sa aming palagay ay walang pagkukulang ang inyong trabaho, ang inyong sipag at ang inyong dedikasyon para sa pagsasaka. Kaya't na ngayon, kami naman sa pamahalaan ay gagawin ang lahat upang pagandahin ang inyong hanap buhay, upang pagandahin ang sitwasyon ng ating mga magsasaka. Para mabigyan naman tayo. Dahil po, tayo ay humaharap ngayon sa problema ng tinatawag na food supply, ang pagpakain ng ating mga kababayan. Napakahalaga ang bahagi ng ating mga magsasaka upang makamtan natin ang masasabi natin sufficient food supply sa presyo na kayang bilhin ng ating mga consumer, lahat ating mga kababayan. Ngunit hindi namin makakalimutan na kailangan din na maganda ang hanap buhay ng ating mga magsasaka. Kung tayo'y magkaisa at patuloy natin na isulong ang programa ng agrarian reform, then we can say that every Filipino will begin to live a meaningful and dignified life.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is scheduled to visit Tokyo in Japan on Friday to participate in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN-Japan Commemorative Summit from the 16th to the 18th of December. With the theme Golden Friendships, Golden Opportunities, the summit will conclude the year marking the 50th anniversary of ASEAN-Japan relations. Aside from the summit, the President is expected to meet with Japanese business leaders to affirm the partnership between the two nations. In a pre-departure briefing by the Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA, Office of ASEAN Affairs Assistant Secretary Daniel Espiritu gave more details to President Marcos's visit to Japan. Let's listen to the pre-departure briefing of DFA Office of ASEAN Affairs Assistant Secretary Daniel Espiritu.
It's true the President is leaving on the 15th for Tokyo to attend the 50th anniversary of ASEAN-Japan relations. Now, this is very important because Japan is one of the first dialogue partners of ASEAN, and it's one of the most dynamic. Its participation in ASEAN has covered not only political security matters such as defense and transnational crime and mutual legal assistance, but also mutual economic activities, which all helped in community building in ASEAN, and also socio-cultural and people-to-people activities. It's a whole gamut of relations, and they were able to sustain and develop it through the years, such that this year they were declared comprehensive strategic partner of ASEAN. And one of the objectives of this summit is exactly to announce the comeuppance of Japan as a comprehensive strategic partner of ASEAN, a thing that was already confirmed during the last summit of ASEAN in Jakarta. But anyway, this time, the summit will focus on ASEAN-Japan relations, of course. And let me just say that it will consist of several activities. The core point of which would be the summit itself on December 17. But before the summit, there is a co-creation of the Economy and Society Forum, which will be also held on the 16th. Now, the President will not attend that. It's usually at the ministerial level, but it will be attended by some of the most important businesses of Japan. Now, while the President will be departing Manila on the 15th, his first official engagement may be a bilateral meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. But since the details of this are still being firmed up, I will not divulge yet the details. Now, on the night of the 16th will be the first real ASEAN engagement of the President, and that will be the dinner hosted by Prime Minister Kishida at the State Guest House or the Akasaka Palace. Now, the 17th, as I said, will be the main day of the summit. It will be a whole day affair. The opening session will start at 9:30, and then it will be followed by a session on the reviewing ASEAN-Japan relations, as well as international and regional developments. So here, not only will they review the cooperation activities of ASEAN through the years, but also they will discuss South China Sea, East China Sea, Myanmar, North Korea, and other international developments that have a bearing on ASEAN. Now, I will not give the details. Statements on this are still under negotiation, so let's just wait for the statements to finish. We cannot preempt, we cannot predict what the outcome will be at this point. Now, the next session will include a working lunch, during which they will be talking about people-to-people activities between ASEAN and Japan. They theme these heart-to-heart partners across generations. But basically, it's a student and youth exchange, art and cultural cooperation, and sports cooperation. Now, this is very important to us since the Philippines is one of the major beneficiaries of this youth and people-to-people exchange, and especially exchange of students. Yeah, you have the so-called Genesis program, the JICA program, and also the sports program. And in fact, the Philippines is one of the Philippine youth is one of the largest block of participants in this Genesis program. Now, in the afternoon, the last session would be on ASEAN-Japan economic partnership, and this is themed Partners for Co-creation of Economy and Society of the Future. Medyo similar dun sa forum the day before, no? But this time it's on the summit level. And what will they talk about? They'll be talking about trade and investment, supply chain, connectivity and infrastructure, climate change, and food and energy security. Now, the session will close at 2:10 p.m., but at night, at 6:10, the leaders will be attending a pre-gala commemorative lighting ceremony at Azabudai Hills. Now, right after this lighting ceremony, they are going to depart for Okura Hotel, where the gala dinner will be held. The next day, there is another event that is not exactly ASEAN, but is quite participated in by most of the countries of ASEAN and other countries. It's the Asia Zero Emissions Community, a separate regional organization composed of ASEAN, Japan, and Australia. Now, this is, as the name of the community indicates, dedicated to lowering the emission of carbon gases into the atmosphere towards supposedly a zero net effect at the end. Now, this will run for only 45 minutes, but the president will participate in this. And this is important for us because as one of the countries most vulnerable to climate change, we are committed to the outcome of the last the COP28 meeting, and this will also be an opportunity for us to request for support for our bid to host the board of the Loss and Damage Fund board. Now, the next thing probably that we will have to take into consideration is the fact that there will also be business meetings, bilateral business meetings. This will be headed by the DTI. And one of these on the 18th is scheduled tentatively at 1:20 p.m. would be a roundtable meeting for a status report on the pledges and agreements signed during the February 2023 visit of the President, and also the signing of new business agreements. Now, this is important because I remember during our last briefing, one of the questions posed here was what happened to the pledges before, right? So this will be an opportunity for us to see what the progress are. And mind you, there are a lot here. I won't go into the details. Ang daming businesses involved, and they're on different levels of progress and development. Let's just wait for this meeting to finish for us to have something more definitive. And then there's also an indicatively scheduled kapihan with the media at 2:40 p.m. And then at 4 p.m., they are scheduling an event at the Imperial Palace. This is an audience with the Japanese Emperor and the Japanese Empress. Of course, the President will be there. And then after that, the President will be departing for the Philippines at 6:45 p.m.
DFA Office of ASEAN Affairs Assistant Secretary Daniel Espiritu.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday led the grand opening of the 18th National Scout Jamboree in the village of Sablogon in Pasig City, Iloilo Province. The President was warmly welcomed by Pasig City Mayor Attorney Stephen Palmares, Iloilo Governor Arthur Defensor Jr., and 4th District Congressman Ferhenel Biron. In his message to the 35,000 Boy Scout delegation, President Marcos encouraged the Scouts to enjoy the different trainings and use what they have learned in nation building as good citizens in their communities. The Chief Executive also took his oath as Chief Scout of the Boy Scout of the Philippines, wearing a neckerchief and a Chief Scout medallion. Let's listen to Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s speech at the grand opening of the 18th National Scout Jamboree in Pasig City, Iloilo Province.
I am very happy to join once again the National Jamboree of the Boy Scouts of the Philippines, this time on the 18th National Jamboree. I have attended other jamborees when I was much younger, together with my father. And so this is a familiar experience for me, as I have been a Boy Scout for a very long time. This is very important, as jamborees are the mother of all activities in our Scout life. It reminds us not only of the continued importance of Scouting, but also of the enduring legacy of the Scouting movement in our country. Scouting plays a vital role in fostering the spirit of camaraderie and leadership among your youth. With its unique blend of education, adventure, fun, Scouting continues to inspire our young people to become active and productive members of society. Each of you here is called upon to help shape our future and create a better and more sustainable world. To our beloved Scouts, remember that you are here also to have fun and to have an adventure, but to learn also about the more positive agents of change of which you can be part of. Make your bodies strong and healthy. Keep your minds keen and ever conscious. Stand your ground, embody the Scout law, and heed the call of duty to God and country. These qualities will make you a good Scout. A good Scout makes a good citizen and a good contributor to our goal of building a bagong Pilipinas. So it is with great national pride that I now open the 18th National Scout Jamboree. Godspeed! Mabuhay ang Boy Scouts ng Pilipinas! Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas!
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, on Monday afternoon welcomed to the country the 11th batch of Overseas Filipino Workers, or OFWs, from Israel. The 27 returning OFWs comprised of 25 caregivers and 2 hotel workers, arrived at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA Terminal 3 on board Etihad Airways Flight EY424. Besides officials from the DMW, Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA, led by Deputy Administrator Hani Quino, the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD, the Department of Health or DOH, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA, the Department of Foreign Affairs, and the Philippine National Red Cross were also present at the NAIA. Upon arrival, the OFWs were asked to fill up their information sheets, which will be used for their monitoring and as a basis for the provision of additional services. They also received immediate assistance and other forms of support. Each OFW returnee received 50,000 pesos financial assistance from OWA, 20,000 pesos livelihood assistance from the DSWD, and 5,000 pesos and skills training vouchers from TESDA. The DOH also extended medical assistance to the OFW returnees. The repatriates will also receive comprehensive reintegration assistance and job facilitation services for other employment opportunities, whether here or in another country. To date, a total of 362 OFWs and 14 children from Israel and 61 from Lebanon have been repatriated by the Philippine government since the Palestinian militant group Hamas launched their attack in southern Israel on October 7th.
Dateline Malacañang.
With just 2 more session days before holiday recess, the Philippines House of Representatives ratified on Monday evening the harmonized version of the proposed 5.768 trillion peso national budget for 2024. Presiding Officer, Deputy Speaker, Batangas 6th District Representative Ralph Recto, via simple voice vote, declared the 2024 General Appropriations Bill or GAB as ratified. The Senate made their own ratification of the GAB Monday afternoon. The Bicameral Committee on the 2024 GAB earlier reached an agreement of the measure and approved it on their second meeting. Along with the separate ratification of both chambers, the approval paves the way for President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s possible signing of the GAB in the coming days. House Speaker Martin Romualdez earlier said that both the House and the Senate's target was to have the budget measure signed before Christmas. The final session date of the year is December 13th. After that, Congress will go on a 5-week recess. The passage of the budget of any given year is considered the most important task of lawmakers.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, on Monday said that the recent resupply mission at the Bajo de Masinloc, also known as Scarborough Shoal, was a success, despite the attempts of Chinese naval forces to block the convoy. In a press briefing, AFP spokesman Colonel Medel Aguilar said that with AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Bronner Jr. personally overseeing the supply operations, the resupply mission turned out to be a success. Aguilar said that the AFP chief himself joined the convoy to personally convey the message of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to the troops who are manning the BRP Sierra Madre and to express the government's support. Despite the harassments and obstructions, National Task Force West Philippine Sea, or NTF-WPS spokesman Jonathan Malaya, reported that the humanitarian and supply mission to the Filipino fishermen was a complete success mission-wise. Malaya added that the convoy was able to deliver thousands of liters of fuel to some 30 fishing boats, as well as food and Noche Buena packages for them and their families. Malaya said the Philippines will remain undeterred amid the recent attacks by the Chinese Coast Guard and will continue to conduct these missions in support of the Philippine troops and fishermen wherever they may be in the West Philippine Sea.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte explained to where the 1.2 billion pesos from the Office of the Vice President, or OVP's fund, went. This was the Vice President's response to the report of the Commission on Audit, or COA, in which over 600,000 pesos that was spent for the satellite office of the OVP was seen to have violated Republic Act, or RA 9184, or the Government Procurement Law. In its 2023 report, Vice President Duterte said that a big chunk of the budget was allotted for medical assistance to poor families. This started, Duterte said, when she assumed the position in July of 2022 until October this year, in which almost 107,000 Filipinos benefited from the assistance. Besides medical help, the Vice President also reported that 130 million pesos was used by the OVP to help 22,400 families with their burial expenses. Vice President Sara boasted that more Filipinos have been helped since they opened satellite offices in different parts of the country. This includes satellite offices in Bacolod City, Cebu, Dagupan, Davao, Tacloban, Surigao, Zamboanga, Isabela, as well as in the regions of Bicol and the Bangsamoro. Besides this, their extension offices in Lipa City in Batangas and Tondo in Manila have also helped more citizens.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, we would like to invite everyone to come and visit our Facebook page at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.